Who's that? The Pond Prince. And it is very cold out here today, so Parker and I are gonna hang out, spend the day together. We're gonna go shut down one of our ponds that we just finished. We're gonna get ready for spring, so that's what we're up to today. Sad, sad, sad. 2021 is coming to an end, but man, what an awesome year. It's fun to think back at just how many cool things happened this year. I love my job. All right, thanks for watching us, everyone. Hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and we will talk to you throughout the day. Just texted with a client and he opened the mail or the garage door from his phone while he's at work. I believe the bubbling rock is going to go where that bush is, which I think would be a perfect spot for it. Really welcoming to their front door. But right now we got it staged here, so no longer do we have to bring in our flatbed and a machine. Now we can just bring our team in with a ball cart and one truck and trailer. So now this install can be done by a couple people, and it'll be done in the spring as soon as ground is thawed. And we're ready, so exciting. We'll be back in springtime. All right, heading to Shutdown, project number 23. It got really cold last night, so it's gonna be really icy. And we just wanna get that pump out. So if you haven't watched project 23, go back and watch that one. See you in a bit. Parker's helping with the shutdown. What's that? Ice. Oh, uh-oh. All right, so shutdown is very basic on a pond like this. We put our floating heater in there. The main thing is we want to allow for gas exchange over the winter time. So this is project number 23.
It gets that big.
It gets that big. Project number 23 here. Got the floater heated. The floating heater is placed, so that's going to keep a hole in the ice. That's going to allow for gas exchange. So any kind of gas that would build up in there will just be able to escape out of the pond instead of building up. In this case, they don't have fish, so we're not worried about supporting fish. Otherwise, we would recommend having our aerator in there. Aerators only go about 6 inches to a foot down. You don't want to go to the deepest spot. You want to try and maintain your thermoclines as much as you can. And in this case, there's going to be no fish this winter, so we're not going to use that aerator. But we have the pump pulled out, basket pulled out, and it's ready to go into the house. These are nice because they're magnetic driven. They do not have to be in a bucket of water. And that can just go somewhere where it won't fall over and break, and somewhere where it won't freeze and crack. Same with those. So that's all you'll have to do. Take that apart, bring that in the house, and you're set for winter. This is going to float for about an hour. It needs to acclimate to the temperatures because it's been inside the house. Once it's acclimated, they'll be able to plug it in. So just right there. And it is ready for winter. I can't wait to come back in the spring, get this running, and get it ready. That'll do it. We'll see you next spring. Hey, good morning, everyone. I am your friendly neighborhood pond king, and here we are at our shop down in Prior Lake. Today, you're going to see us packing up shop. So we're going to be organizing, we're going to be putting things that need to be put away for the winter time, and we are going to be greasing machines, we're going to be filling them with fuel, we're going to be making sure that they get tucked into the container. We're going to take inventory, we're going to see what we have for pond supplies. We're going to make sure we got all of it kind of organized, and kind of everything that needs to be weatherproofed gets put in there for the winter time. All right, everyone, thank you. Talk to you throughout the day. Time to get to work.
I can stay here for a lifetime, as long as you and I am as close as we could be without a hug. I know you know I've been waiting for something with a feeling of pure dedication. Would you be honest, even if you know where I come from? There is no escaping this one. I'll do whatever you say if you stay with me. What else could be done? I'll even give you my call if you are freezing. But you stay cold as ice, cold as ice.
Pretty much all packed up for the end of the 2021 season. It was a great year, lots of great water features in the ground, and now we get ready for 2022. The sun sets on another season.
first one here of customers just at 7 a.m. I was right on time. I like that. All right, we're gonna be loading up a bunch of stuff. I've got some stairs cut and saved. We've got the sun coming up over there. Check out this mossy limestone we've got saved. Just awesome. Some small chunks, some big chunks. You know, everything we want for variety. I had those saved about 2 months ago, last time we met with a customer. So those are great for us there. All right, sounds like I gotta pick out a couple more pallets of that mossy limestone. So I had a few put aside early on in the season, had our stairs cut, and now what we're gonna do is pick out a couple things of mossy limestone. So Wednesday before Thanksgiving, I said we'd be back today to prep for next spring, and that is what we are doing. Just gonna pick out a couple more of those awesome mossy limestones, and then we get to go to that project, and we're gonna show you what project number 1 of 2022 looks like, and that's construction season. So we are going to try and squeeze a couple little projects in during our spring cleaning season, but then we're going to really ramp up our construction crew pretty quickly because we have a lot of work already lined up for next year. I'm excited, I'm grateful, and man, we've got some sweet stuff here to look at. So let's pick out what we can. So basically from this tree over, we get to play with this and turn it into a blank canvas. Those steps are gonna go, we gotta take them out, and we're gonna get ourselves down to 0. I'd love to see a fire pit area somewhere here, somewhere where you can come and sit, because this is gonna be really welcoming. It's gonna say, hey, come and enjoy, come walk through this, come and take this staircase up and interact with that water. We'll show you all that in spring of 2022 here. All right, so today is all about getting into Dave's head, the stress mitigator, and finding out how he likes to do a fall shutdown to make sure that your water feature is safe for the winter. All right, so Dave, what's your process? You first get here, what is it that you're gonna do? I mean,
well, the first process is talk to the homeowner.
Yeah, all right, Mark, thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
Thank you for investing in the space. Have you been enjoying it?
It has been just amazing. I mean, when you guys got here, this was a big green postage stamp, and we never spent any time out here at all. And even the first year before we had the patio, we invested in the chairs and spent as much time out here between August and the time that we shut down in December as we could.
Awesome.
So this spring we took out all the ugly plastic liner and put in the patio and the seating wall, and did some landscaping. My wife's done a really great job in the full bloom. It's just amazing, and the grasses give us privacy. So we've had a blast. We spend every spare moment out here that we can.
Awesome. I love to hear that. I love to hear that. And how's Dave been to work with?
Dave's been awesome, man. And last year we brought him out on one day, and I think the day was 50 degrees, and he said, "You really want to shut it down today?" And we said, "No, it'll take a couple more weeks." So he came back and was real accommodating, and we've loved not having to deal with it, truthfully, because I'm not overly mechanical. So having Dave come out and winterize it and set it up again in the spring has just been great.
Awesome. And have you had any problems with it?
Not at all, really.
Great. Easy to care for?
Yeah, it's easy to care for. You know, we have to deal with the leaves that covers up our lights, but aside from that, everything's been great. We had a little bit more mulch come in when they did the patio, so it added a little bit of a layer there. The only thing we have to do is watch out for the wires when we're landscaping, because everything's coming through one path. So.
Yeah.
No, it's been awesome.
It looks awesome. I love the green thumb touch. I really want to come back next year, because that'll be year 3, yep. And that's when things really start looking the best. Absolutely. And then from there on, it just gets better and better. So, well, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
So Dave says hi to the client, and as you can see, most of our clients are happy to see Dave, and you can see he's smiling and happy and fun to be around. So you can see why. Now what, Dave?
Well, the first thing is, I've already unloaded my truck of my specialty tools.
What are these specialty tools? Let's walk through those real quick, please.
Vice grips.
What do you use the vice grips for?
You shall see soon.
Nice. Keep them in suspense, Dave. Keep them wanting more.
Little bitty gloves First thing you do, you bring the tools, of course, and what you need. You might need the wrench. You might need,
Yeah, let's see the wrench, please. Let's see.
You might need a crescent wrench. You might need the
Large channel locks. That'll help if your check valve is a little tight.
other gloves, a towel.
That'll come in handy when it's really
Yep.
cold and your hands are freezing if they get wet. Air compressor. I see you got an air compressor.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The first thing is to come over here after you've checked it to see the features running, which it was. And once again, you talk to the homeowner, the owner of the feature, how they've, handled everything. If there's anything I had to make notes on, like for the future in the spring or anything like that. Come over here to make sure the water's off. This is the auto fill line. And what we're going to end up doing is blowing this line out. So in the interim, what I do is I take my compressor, plug it in, get it up to air while I'm working on this, and I pull this quick disconnect out because I'm going to blow air into this and blow out the line.
So if you were new to this, you'd be scraping away gravel and you'd kind of maybe be knocking the gravel, listening to where that pump housing vault might be.
Yep. You just listen for that.
You see a little sponginess. What we really like about aquascapes is they have that peephole. So if it's an aquascape feature and we're taking it over because someone retired and is leaving the industry, we're gonna look for that little peephole right there. So that peephole indicates where the lid is gonna be, and now you can see Dave's gonna just move all the gravel away, make it as easy as he can for himself. A lot of times this time of year, we're not gonna clean up as much of those leaves. We might take some of the damming out, but we really focus on that in the spring because oftentimes over the winter, this is just going to get filled with snow, leaves, and debris anyway. So part of our spring cleaning process is we're going to come in and we're going to take all those leaves out, and then we're going to pressure wash everything. And we have a video you can go back and watch of that too. So go ahead and watch our spring cleaning process. But this is us shutting down a pondless waterfall. And Dave has got the lid exposed here.
And the water is cold.
All right, so lid off. Water's nice and clear in there. Looks like you got a top off line and a pump.
Yep.
Watch out, don't dig too deep, sir.
And
You almost got your hand under your wrist there.
that's why we're wearing the long ones.
Oh, so here's where the vice grips comes in.
Now this is the autofill float. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but when it goes down, it's open. When it comes up, it closes the water off. Now it's open.
So you turned it off, and what was the reason you turned that off again?
Well, I have it on right now to show you why I turned it off.
Okay. So this is the kind of nozzle you're going to want to also. So let's get a...
Yep. And this is rubber, so it fits in that hole just sweet. Now you take the tip.
So when do you decide you've gotten enough?
I just use the whole tank once.
Yeah.
Unless it's a longer line, I might do it 3 times. This is a shorter line. It's not going to be that much moisture in this line, so I just go through the tank, and then I'll quickly go over and take the vice grips off, and the float will come up, and the line is shut, and we're all set for the winter. Just like blowing out an irrigation line, you see the sprinkler heads, all that stuff through the neighborhoods that get blown out. That's what this is. I open the relief valve to let the air out, because you don't want to take the hose off. You don't want to take the hose off when there's still pressure in the tank, or it'll go pop. It could hit you in the leg or in the eye if you're down there. So now it just easily comes out. So now you just figure out which way it goes on, which way it loosens, which way. So this is the check valve.
So when the elbow, from the elbow, if the elbow is away from you, you turn to your right, Dave. Right? Turn to your left. It's lefty-loosey when you are when the elbow is away from you. So when it's going down,
this is turned on like this right now. So
yeah,
if I was over here,
it'd be righty-tighty on from the elbow side.
So now I got to go this way.
All right, so you've you've detached it, and now the pipe will usually just let all the water out, right? So,
Correct.
was there much water that came out of that? Probably not too much, huh?
A little bit, but not too much.
Because it is a pondless waterfall, and you know, the diffusers don't hold very much water in them. So if it were a biofalls, this would come flooding out at you for a while, or even a wetland filter. So.
You would open it a lot slower.
And back away.
You pull out the pump, you just want to be careful that you don't hit that plastic float there and damage it or break it off or anything.
What I was trying to say is, when you are looking at this, if this is going down and away from you, lefty-loosey. So as long as you're away from that elbow, the part that's going down, you can loosen it up lefty-loosey. But if you're on the other side, then it's righty-loosey. So the best way to do it is just to take yourself and stand behind it. Make sure you're looking at that downward-facing spot, and it'll loosen really nicely. And now here's another little trick that we do in our installs. We try and tell people about it, and this is the reason, is the ground starts freezing about this time of year. And if that cord was in dirt, it wouldn't pull up very easily. But since it's in mulch, you want to do me a favor, Dave, and we'll pull that cord up.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to mention is you want to check for this O-ring that is still on there, because it could accidentally pop off. See this nice O-ring here?
Yeah.
And you want to check for the vibration little footies, little boots on here, because they could slip off and they'd be in the basin. No major problem. We could just fish them out in the spring, but you just want to make sure they're there. And then you also want to check that the check valve is operating correctly, holding water in that line like it's supposed to. And that's the plumbing line.
That would mean it works well. The way it drained the water, it was holding water. And then you can hear that just a little rock back and forth. If there was a loud clunk, 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 that would mean that that is broken free, and then the check valve needs to be replaced. So that's how Dave is checking that. You hear him just kind of rock it back and forth. And now look how easy that comes up out of the mulch. Couldn't hardly tell there was a plug there, but you need to be able to lift that out come winter time. So that's why we recommend we only put those underneath the mulch, and then underneath a little block right there is no big deal because it'll pop right out. We do recommend these pumps do not need to be stored in water, but we do recommend they're stored in the house somewhere where they will not freeze. And then we always recommend that they be put somewhere on the ground so they don't get knocked over. All right, so now Dave does his cleanup, says thank you to the client, let them know that we'll be sending out our contact roughly around Super Bowl weekend. Right after Super Bowl weekend, we let everyone know what the weather pattern seems to be like for spring, and let them know that we're really excited to see them in their feature again. And then we're going to be starting startups as soon as possible, but got to deal with that Minnesota winter for a little bit first. I love my job. Dave, you are good at your job, sir.
Thank you.
Which is just being a good person, good service to other people.
That's the only way we do it in this Pond King Water Gardens.
All right, so we're here at project number 11. Project number 11 of 2021. It's that Spillway Bowl, and we're just going to show you how to do the Spillway Bowl shutdown, or at least prepping for the winter. When I came here the other day, we have our pump housing unit. That is a pondless vault that has a top on it. I came and took the pump out, and I wanted to make sure that when you take the pump out, it releases all the water that would be in the plumbing, because we removed the check valve, just like we did at the Pondless Waterfall that you saw us doing already. But the big thing I wanted to do too was to remove this plug. So I've got that plug way down, so over the winter time nothing happens. And what we're trying to make sure is a little bit of water in here, not a big deal. But if we had water all the way up here and it freezes and then all the way freezes, I think that these could break. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use that plywood to make it so that the weight of the snow doesn't crush down in there over time. So if we were to just use tarps, the snow will come in there and basically create the same problem without having support. So we're gonna put this support on, then we're gonna cover it with tarps, and then we're gonna say it is good for winter. So that is the main gist of what we're up to. Can't wait to come back and pressure wash these in the spring. All right, I'm excited to see that my cuts worked out. Boom.
Put a smiley face on that. That would be kind of cool.
Thanks, Dave.
Well, that's about did. Okay, now we're done.
Take them back, redo it. You got the smiley face. You got a marker? All right, now we're gonna put the tarps over. I want to thank you again. Tell you that water features are fun. If you're one of our clients, past, present, or even in the future, thank you for this opportunity. We really do get to work with people we love, for people we love, doing something we love because you invest in us and you trust us with your vision. So thank you so much. Make sure to keep watching because we got a lot to show you. As of right now, when we're saying goodbye, putting the business to bed, we have 8 projects lined up for next year. And who knows what happens over the summer. We've got some real cool things coming up and I'm excited to show it to you. So thank you so much. We'll see you soon. It will probably about a month before we start airing 2022 content where we're starting where we left off. Remember that? Yep, we left off by staging material at project number 1 of 2022. So I'm pumped. We've got some cool stuff to show you, and who knows what we're going to capture over the winter. We might get some real cool opportunities to travel and help some other pond builders and learn from our friends. I can't wait, man. This is such a fun career. Thank you, God, for bringing it to me and bringing me to this. I just trust that we're going to do some fun stuff together next. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Nick the Pond King, and this is our channel, Nick the Pond King, where we're just trying to show you that water features are fun. And this time it starts with Lake Elmo, unfortunately saying goodbye to it. But I'm still having fun. We'll see you in 2022, everyone. Thank you so much. Sponsored by Pond King Water Gardens. Living works of art, 1 yard at a time.